minutes.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you, Director Mulvaney, for being here. I want to recognize Representative Cole's thoughtful comments on the NIH and appreciate your speaking out on that. We have very strong philosophical disagreements about the budget, but I don't want to spend my 5 minutes on that. I'm a freshman new around here, so I'm going to try on two concrete issues where I hope we may find common ground, and I hope you may keep an open mind. The first is the Manufacturing Extensionship Partnership. This was a program that President Reagan started. I worked at the Department of Commerce. It helps small and medium-sized manufacturers. Many of them, the way it helps them is, you look at my district, Silicon Valley, they have cloud technology. This program says, how do we get our small and medium-sized manufacturers using cloud technology, other things, to be competitive, to create jobs in an environment where trade is unfair. My sense is it was zeroed out. It's 0.003% of the budget by some junior staffer. I'm convinced if the president actually met with the manufacturers who are benefiting from the program, or if you met with him, he would probably want to quadruple the budget, given how he campaigned. And my question is, could we at least have the president meet with some of the manufacturers who are benefiting with this program, or could you take a look at it? Because honestly, it was a Reagan program. It's bipartisan, and it's probably the biggest thing we can do to help manufacturers.
It was a Reagan. Thank you for that, Congressman. It was a Reagan program, and I had a policy when I sat in your chair, which was that I was careful about my Reagan quotes and my Bible quotes, because my guess is you could always find something on the other side of the argument from the same source. So I'm going to be very careful with my Reagan quote. I also think he said one time there was nothing as permanent as a temporary government program. This program under the Reagan administration was designed to be temporary. In fact, you're only supposed to be on it for 6 years. There have been folks who have been on it for literally decades, and that's why it got our attention. Again, coming back to the folks who pay for it, say, look, yeah, maybe we can justify giving seed money to businesses so they can get a start and get their feet underneath them, but it's supposed to be temporary, and it's not, and that was the reason we sourced this. We focused on this program. But to your request about having the president get personally involved, I think the president has already shown a tremendous interest in talking with manufacturers. A lot of his focus so far in terms of the executive action has been on manufacturing, and your invitation is welcome indeed, sir. Thank you.
I appreciate it. I just would ask that you take a look at it and the manufacturers benefiting. The second area, I had the privilege of going down to Congressman Hal Rogers' district in Appalachia, near Ranking Member Yarmouth's district. And as you know, Hal Rogers is one of the most distinguished members of this body. He's Republican, chaired the Appropriations Committee. What I saw there were coal miners' kids getting apprenticeship programs, jobs, learning iOS software for Apple, learning Android software at Google. I mean, these are jobs in Appalachia, jobs in Middle America, future jobs. The Appalachia Regional Commission funded this program, and I think you should talk to Congressman Rogers about it. I urge that, again, that the president may visit this area and see what's happening, because this is how he campaigned. He said, I want to help folks here get the jobs. The Appalachia Regional Commission does exactly that. Again, my hope would be he would quadruple the funding. People often say, well, the Democrats participate in supporting things that the president does. If the president were to say, let's quadruple funding for the Appalachia Regional Commission, I'd vote for it. But that's zeroed out. And is there a way we could have the president visit there, or you visit there, and see firsthand the jobs that are being created for coal miners' kids and others in that area?
And I appreciate that. And I believe the president, and I don't keep track of his travel schedule as probably as closely as I should. I think he's already been to that part of the country at least once. I know he's been to Kentucky at least once. Whether he got into eastern Kentucky, I can't remember. Your points about the Appalachian Regional Commission are well taken, and certainly there are anecdotes of success within that program. It's just when we sat down to look at it, as we've mentioned with our new perspective, we had a very difficult time confirming that it was regularly as successful as you mentioned. That being said, we still recognize the need in the area. So while we did zero out the Appalachian Regional Commission, we moved the money around to programs that we thought were even more effective, or at least we could prove were more effective. So the budget provides an additional $80 million for the Department of Agriculture's Rural Economic Infrastructure Grant Program, which includes community centers, housing repair, distance learning, telemedicine, broadband grants, and the like. It also provides an additional $66 million for job training and employment services through the Department of Labor. So again, your points are well taken, and we tend to agree that those areas are a place that do deserve federal attention. I guess I can come back to folks in Southern California and say, can I take some of your money to move to the Appalachia region because of the challenges that it faces? And the answer is yes, but we'd like to do it through more effective programs than we're able to identify at the Appalachian Regional Commission.